Hello everyone and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice, where, much unlike the previous trial, which was excellent, by the way, I feel like here I know who did it, not so much the how. It's like the last trial, I had no idea who did it until very close to the very end. Here, I feel like I know who did it. I don't really have a guess as to how the murder occurred yet. I feel like we're missing probably a bit too much. All right, but so Admati's trying to kick us out of the courtroom because he's a jerk. But I can't give up. I have to keep pressing on. As long as there was a moment when nobody was watching the dressing room door, the defendant can't be convicted solely on Prosecutor Blackwell and Guerra's testimonies. Even now you would continue to resist. You are childish and defeat as well, I see. We won last time. You are the one who has lost like every single trial except for the one where everything was made up. I'm not out for the count yet, Buster. I'm just getting started. Despite your posturing, is it not true that your resolve could crumble at any moment? I guess that is the one thing, other interesting thing about the last trial is that, like, now it's not a matter of you've lost every single time. It's that you've practically lost every single time. You did technically win one, sort of, got overturned. But that was one thing about, like, all the other prosecutors where it's like, there's supposed to be these, like, larger than life personalities, like, never lose, and then you just destroy them over and over and over through the game. So at least he has that going for him. With but a little push, you would surely succumb to despair. I'm not playing Danganronpa. Put all the Ace Attorneys together. Have to kill one of them and get away with it. Oh my god. Phoenix Wright Danganronpa would be amazing. Put all the prosecutors and all the defense attorneys in a school. I would play that game. A little push, such as with this piece of conclusive evidence. Conclusive evidence? Why not just lead with that? That is correct. We found a critical piece of evidence at the scene of the crime. Oh, please. The victim's dying message, which clearly implicates the accused, Bucky Wet. Look at these Japanese playing cards, known as karata, lined up on the table. These special English version karata cards spell out a message. That message? Wet number 4. By number 4, you mean wet noodle number 4. Yes, wet noodle number 4 is the 4th head chef of Wet Soba, is also known. This message points to none other than the accused, Bucky Wet. No! That makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Wow, great job, Mr. Prosecutor. Oh no, this is really, really bad. What do I do? What do I do? Crime scene report updated in the court record contains photo of the crime scene. The victim's dying message is clearly visible on the table. Dying message is clearly visible in them. Okay. Would you still carry on your futile fight in the face of this irrefutable evidence? You can say whatever you want, but we won't know. Why ask me a question and then interrupt? It is cruel to give the accused false hope. He's kind of, sleeping. Passed out. Sleeping. You only compound his suffering. Wise people of the courtroom, do you not agree? Why do they get a say? He's right, it's cruel to make him suffer where there's conclusive evidence. I'm an incompetent noob. I feel bad for the victim and the defendant. What? But I'm trying to prove Mr. West's innocence here. I know you can hear their defense. Their voices implore you to save the accused soul. It's time for you to let it go and move on, you inexperienced lawyer. You lack the competence with which to accomplish anything meaningful here. Is he right? Is this too much for me to handle on my own? No, he's a jerk. What good is she doing anybody? She should just quit right now. defense, leave everything to this humble servant of the Holy Mother.
Silence.
Wait, is he... He's trying to use your keen sense of hearing against you to manipulate the trial, Athena. What a cheap trick for a supposedly holy man. Simon! You fop doodles in the gallery. Can't a man watch a trial in peace? This inexperienced amateur is about to turn the trial around. Let me prosecute. The prosecutor really think... Does that prosecutor really think she can turn it around? The mood in this courtroom is starting to change. The prosecutor Blackwell, what are you doing at the defense's bench? You were bored of watching from the gallery. Besides, if I were to leave this trial to this spring chick and lose my favorite soba shop in the process, I will be quite cross. You voluntarily stand on the side of impurity and sin. Truly what a fool you are. I never thought I'd like Blackwell more than another prosecutor. Yeah. I mean, he was annoying the whole game, but with payoff. Very different vibe. I think you're so easily manipulated by his parlor tricks. Would have him to qualified and capable, Athena. I just let my guard down a little bit, but it won't happen again. Then gird up your loins and steel yourself for battle. I'm not girding up anything in this skirt, but I am ready to get serious. Seems there's now yet another soul I must cast down into hell. I was in prison for a long time, and hell sounds no worse than cell, to be honest. But the fires of hell will not be the end of your suffering. For the sin you have just committed, you shall surely be reborn as a panda in your next life. A white and black reverse panda, that is. And you should be put in a zoo to be exposed to public ridicule. I can't even say this with a straight face. I thought like that won't work on Prosecutor Blackwell. After all, he's already used to looking like a panda in this life. What are you calling a panda? Just sorry. I see that you're both prepared to face the fires of damnation. Giru, thank you for your service. You may step down now. Okie dokie. Bye-bye, balloon. Get back up there. Wait. Everything have to be about balloons with her? As long as it was balloons and not balloons. Now then. I feel like this game's age rating just keeps going up and up. I have a witness prepared to testify about the Carta cards. Who's the witness this time? The first to discover the body and someone who witnessed the crime scene firsthand. Mr. Uendo Tornado. Time has come for that ponytailed pair over there to finally let it all go and move on. Very well, let's bring in this witness then. Witness, please state your name and occupation. I'm the Rakugo storyteller, Uendo Tornado. Even if my performance isn't worth watching, I will certainly watch my words. I wouldn't want to say anything thoughtless and get arrested. After all, that'd be a Rakunono. Wow. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Yeah, let's call it a day. Can I fire? Wait, what? Oh, he actually left. That might be for the best, actually. You can't leave yet. You've only just introduced yourself. Oh, my. Are you a fan of mine, miss? No. Would you like my autograph? One moment. Just stop. Okay, let's think this through. Has literally anyone in your entire life, asked for an autograph? What do you think you're doing? No need to stand on ceremony. My fan deserves a fan after all. I love how bad he is. I'd hate that I love that. A fan for fan, nice one. No, you're like bad at this. Oh, wife, it isn't Simon. How are you on this fine day, sir? Quite a dilly of a pickle we found ourselves in, wouldn't you say? I don't believe I've ever seen you talk quite so much, Uendo. Never performed in a place like this, you know. Got butterflies here, can't you see? Why do I always get the weird ones? Pardon me, witness. As much as I enjoy your banter, I believe we better return to the case at hand. I suppose you're right. In that case, I was promoted to Futatsumi yesterday and received the stage name of Uendo. The show is our way of celebrating my new name and middle rank standing. And then that happened. Wait, is that a... Oh, is that a girl? I did not... No, that's a guy. Okay. The way he was holding that... Ah! Whoa, wait a second. He has less experience in Giru. He has become higher ranked than her. And he's really bad at this. So that's gotta double hurt. So now I'm a little less suspicious of Giru. Because why on earth would you cover for him? Okay. Really? I never dreamed something like that happened. Not in a million years. And just as I got my chance to start repaying my debt to Shisho. And that's not suspicious. Yeah, plus I'm worried about Giru. Although I wonder if it's not a literal debt. The way she clung to Shisho, poor thing. I told her to keep a stiff upper lip. It's stiff like rigor mortis. Why? Keep telling those lame jokes and Shisho will come scold you from the grave. I wouldn't mind getting yelled at, you know, if it meant seeing him again. Uendo, please, as charming as your various characters are, this isn't a Rakugo stage. Oh, he's playing. Okay. Now, let us hear your testimony, witness. Tell the court about the evidence left at the scene, the proof of the accused's guilt. Shisho's dying message, okay. I noticed Shisho's dying message right away. The stiff cars were right there next to the stiff, you see. Hey now, enough with the silly puns already. I get it. Okay, so he's playing... Okay. Anyway, I had the meaning right away. I knew it must have been talking about Bucky. That was the master's final message left as he was drowning in soba broth. How did you know? It's so like Shisho not to write Bucky's name outright. Plain and simple wasn't his style. Well, that was certainly a more entertaining testimony than usual. The variety of characters performed by the witness was absolutely splendid. But he shouldn't be performing any characters in the first place, Your Honor. Uendo, the murder weapon hasn't been determined yet. So how can you say the victim was drowned in soba broth? I mean, I kind of wanted to do that. But, okay. It's obvious. All you have to do is look at the crime scene. He was found with his face shoved in a bowl. It's only natural to assume he was drowned in the broth for the noodles. Except we're not here to assume things, Uendo, so please stick to just the facts. My, it's like a soba chef to kill someone this way, wouldn't you say? Is there really a way a soba chef would kill someone? Yeah. With the character message he left behind, it's clear Bucky Wet did it. Setting aside the issue of the murder weapon for now, the dying message certainly does seem to be irrefutable evidence. Indeed, it proves the absolute guilt of the accused. Yeah, even I've got to admit that I can't see how that message could mean anything else. Bucky used soba for the deed, all to go get back the soba shop deed. Wait. This testimony makes Mr. Wet look super guilty. I have to do something. That's his conclusive evidence. What a farce. What do you mean, Simon? There's so many holes in that testimony. What's this? I thought you said you weren't planning on asking me for help. I did, and I won't, thank you very much. I must have found an inconsistency in the testimony. I'd better listen carefully and try to see what he found. Alright, there were a couple that I didn't like. He shows dying message. I noticed... He shows dying... Alright, it's just... Yeah, no, when you saw the cards on the table, what made you think they were Master Tornado's dying message? Well, it was a coded message right there next to the body. I'm sure anybody would have thought that they were there to name his killer. I love murder mysteries and often watch them on TV. Oh, I see. I saw a similar scene during a murder mystery marathon last Tuesday. That's what made me think this must be the dying message. Yeah, I don't... That's weird. I get it, you tell jokes. The cards are on the table, your master's body was slumped over... right? You must have been surprisingly calm to notice them at the time. As I said, the stiff cards were right there next to the stiff, so they were hard to miss. But wouldn't it have been more natural to notice the victim rather than the cards? The message just caught my eye because the stiff cards were right there next to the... He's just gonna keep... Okay. Yes, but that fact hardly seems significant enough to make a person take note of them. Stiff cards next to the stiff. He's gonna keep trying, bless him. So basically there's no real reason for them to catch your eye, was there? We ruined his joke and made him sad. That's right, I need you to give your testimony, not perform a scene. Please remember, you're on the witness stand, not the stage. But look at all these wonderful people in the audience. It's only natural for an entertainer to want them to have some fun. I guess we could let a few jokes slide, right? The inevitable bleeding of your work into other areas of your life. I know how that is. Please tell me you go around saying order, order, order at random times, like in a restaurant. I find myself being unwittingly judgmental in my personal life, too. That, you might want therapy for that. Right. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Well done, Your Honor. Guess you can't judge a judge by his cover. Oh. I advise the defense not to be so critical of the witness. Yes, Your Honor. Much obliged. Got the meaning right. It must have been talking about Bucky. Not really much we can poke at there. The cards do spell out wet number 4, which could be interpreted as wet noodle number 4, I guess. I suppose you took this to mean Bucky wet. There's only one wet noodle around here, and you've seen that giant 4 on his back. It's the only interpretation that makes sense. Yeah, I guess so. But wait a minute. What is it? What if there's another wet noodle in the area? What? Did I say something strange? Bucky is the sole heir to the shop. So enough of the ludicrous straw grasping. Hey, how was I supposed to know? Just listen to the testimony again and find the glaring inconsistency. Yeah, this is the one. So the victim lined up those cards in his final moments. How could he with his... How can you be so certain that's how it went down? I know Shisho. He would never let someone get the last word on him, even in death. With his face in the soba broth and his consciousness fading away, he left a message that pointed toward Bucky as he left this world. Doesn't make any sense. It's the only way it could have happened. Wait, the only way? Now you're just speculating. Look, a dying message is something you leave as you're dying, right? I saw a scene like that in a detective show. This makes no sense whatsoever. Even though we have a saying in my country, silence is more precious than diamonds. Why don't you ever practice that, got him? Please do not speak any more than is necessary. But talking is my livelihood, you know. I talk all the time. This, that, truths, untruths. I can't stop myself from talking. Hopefully he'll stick to the truths without any of those untruths. this too. But don't you think it's strange? Could a dying person really leave such a convoluted message? Even if there was death, it was in Shisho's nature to throw in a twist somehow. Truly the consummate entertainer to the very end, don't you think? Was he really that great a man, Simon? Would have been no easy task, to be sure. But who knows, he wasn't an entertainer for 55 years for nothing. If I ever bite the big one like that, I want to leave a message as good as Shisho's. Well, let's hope it never comes to that. Are we sure? Simon, are all our Hakuga artists like this? It's hard to say. Could simply be the eccentricity of an entertainer. Perhaps he's hiding something. Well, he doesn't have to entertain people in a court of law, and if he is trying to hide something, maybe it'll show up as a contradiction somewhere. Dying message right away. Alright, hold on. What evidence do we have? We have the diagram, which I don't think is going to help here. Crime scene. Making soba noodles from scratch. The room is covered in soba flour. There are 2 drink cans in the fridge, which is open. Nothing found. I don't remember that part. Nothing was. I knew that we didn't know what it was. Nothing was found in his lungs. The invitation Simon received, Mr. Tornado. Take to the show, a letter from the victim. The letter contained a simple greeting and a rundown of the show's program. Gira was to perform her balloon act, then Yuendo was to do his soba glutton routine. Finally, Master Tornado was to perform his time soba routine. Before Bucky came to the theater, Gira was outside feeding her dog a number of dumplings. The dog buried his leftovers, and I feel like the dog burying the leftovers in the yard is also going to be a thing. The stiff cars were right there next to the stiff, you see. I see. It's still nothing. Hey now, enough with the silly puns already. Okay, we can skip that. I got the meaning right away. I knew it must have been talking. I don't have anything to refute that. Left as he was drowning in so... Okay. So that one stood out to me right away. That kind of Athena's thing of like, well, how did you know? But also now I question, because the autopsy very specifically says nothing was found in his lungs, so he couldn't have drowned. Oh, okay. Objection. Gotcha. There's a contradiction in Yuendo's testimony. Would you care to explain to where, Miss Sykes? Certainly, Your Honor. According to the autopsy report, nothing unusual was found in the victim's lungs. Yes, it does say that, doesn't it? If he had drowned in a bowl of soba, then there should have been soba broth in his lungs. But since there wasn't any, it means the victim was suffocated with something other than soba broth. Yo. What? How are we needing to point this out? This is the contradiction you noticed, isn't it, Simon? Not bad at all. Guess I showed you. But if drowning in soba broth wasn't the cause of death, then when was the victim's face thrust into that bowl? Heifu Tornado's face was thrust into the bowl before, during... After. Right? Because no soba broth was discovered in the victim's lungs, his head must have been placed into the bowl after he was killed. And that's when the soba broth must have been spilled onto the carta cards. In other words, the victim could not have lined the cards up as he was drowning. I see. So it was done after he was already dead. But why would the culprit do such a thing? I'm afraid I don't know yet. To frame Bucky? You boast of psychological expertise that you cannot determine such a simple motive. My sides are liable to split at the absurdity. What? And I suppose you know why? Of course. Desecrating the body in that manner indicates a strong sense of enmity on the part of the perpetrator. Yes, that does make sense. It certainly paints a clear picture of the culprit's intense feelings towards the victim. Feelings of resentment over the theft of the soba shop's deed, no doubt. Just great. Now the judge has an even more unfavorable impression of Bucky.
Silence.
Become undone at every juncture. Yes! The culprit had time enough to set up Master Tornado's body. Do you think they would have honestly failed to notice the dying message? Good point. The cards were right in front of his body after all. Rationally speaking, there's no way the culprit could have missed that, huh? Ah, but was the accused rational at the time, given the way he stormed out of that room? Those two going back and forth. That's all I want in the world. Never mind that. I have something more important to ask you, Endo. And we'll find out what that is in the next episode. I like this case so far because I feel like I know the who, but I can't quite figure out how and how it was how it was set up yet. So we'll see. We'll find out. Probably not in the next episode. Hopefully this goes on for a little bit longer than that, but we will find out soon. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.